Coming at you with my week 7 picks. Sorry so late on this one. Went got called into work a couple days ago and then got really under the weather. That's why I'm sounding a little bit like this. But want to commit to this to these prediction videos, weekly prediction videos. But but I did horrible last week again. 3 weeks in a row already. Did really bad. 5 and 10 last week. As you know, I do my Cowboys video separate. Before I get started, good to see you. 5 rings. I caught your video. Funny, great video. But anyway, let's get on with these picks. So tonight's game, the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Oakland Raiders. I got the Kansas City Chiefs. The style that they play, they can easily do it in a short week. You can simplify the play calling and all that to get you by the way Hunt is running the ball. Like the Cowboys, Raiders have a hard time sustaining leads and all that. And also too, the Kansas City Chiefs are one of the best in the fourth quarter in scoring. So that's a lot. I mean, unless it was last week, but but I still got the Kansas City Chiefs. Next is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Buffalo Bills. I got the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills playing very solid football, very physical. Tyrod Taylor, as long as he manages the games, doesn't put his team in bad situations, they're fine. And all that. McCoy running the ball, he's been quietly one of the better running backs in the league. Tampa Bay, with going on the road, Winston not playing all that well, and plus being a little bit banged up, it's a uphill battle. Next is the Carolina Panthers versus Chicago Bears. I'm going to go with Carolina Panthers because it's 10 days of rest for them. And, on top of that, having, their team is solid all around, in a sense. And so that's why I'm going to pick in them. But Chicago is playing very scrappy, Next is the Tennessee Titans versus Cleveland Browns. I got the Tennessee Titans. Now, before I go into that, Hugh Jackson, I don't know what the hell you're doing. I mean, you basically, last week, you basically said it's your quarterback's fault the way the team is playing. And then his wide receivers is not catching the ball. I mean, they found something in Njoku, hopefully. But I don't understand that. It's like, this kid won the starting job. He puts up a good fight, and everybody knew, it's a rebuild. It's still a rebuilding thing with you guys. And, you call him and all that. He fights to the end against not the Patriots, but the Steelers. And you do this to him. It doesn't make sense. I mean, if he wasn't in your future, then you should have never made him a starter. He's a young kid. And you guys do that to him is stupid. That's why, I feel sorry. I really do feel sorry for your fan base. That was all-time dumb. What kind of coaching decision that was. I mean, let him go. Let him fight to the end. Then if I'm telling you, the players and the fans will get behind him if they see that he's fighting through all of it and all that. All the dumb plays by the teammates and all that, by the wide receivers not catching the ball. You gotta have something to. I mean, and at the end, if he's not good enough, if he goes worse, then you draft Darnold or Rosen or Jackson, Mayfield, or all those quarterbacks and all that. But I mean, that was just straight stupid. Tennessee Titans, Marcus Mariota, really surprised. Really impressed me, and that's a huge confidence for him. He's a guy that I know it's against the Colts, but it's not his strong suit to stand in the pocket, but because he likes to move around and all that. But to do that to do that from the pocket, and because you could tell that hamstring is not healthy, because when he ran and he saw the defender come, he went straight to the ground. Usually he'll make a move and all that, but the way Murray is catching and running the ball, Henry, the way he's running the ball, and Delaney Walker being that security blanket, it's a good thing for them. Next is the New Orleans Saints versus the Green Bay Packers. No, that wasn't that. I got the New Orleans Saints. Losing trading Adrian Peterson. I was kind of scratching my head when they did sign him, because Ingram, when they do give him the opportunities, he has produced and all that. They just don't give him enough opportunities. I mean, every time one of my friends is a Saints fan, and I tell him every time I go watch, they don't win this game because look, he's around like 18, 19 carries, and the way he's running the ball, they're going to win this game. And sure enough, they win the game. And then every time it's like under 15 carries, I go, they're going to lose this game because they're not getting any production, They're not helping anything out. They're not controlling the clock. They're not doing anything because their defense is not that type of defense, And what a huge loss for the Green Bay Packers. I mean, you're going to see who steps up and helps out Hundley. Or, it's going to be like the 2015 Cowboys. That's the way it's going to be. Next is the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Indianapolis Colts. Man, I'm so tempted to take the Colts because the Jacksonville Jaguars confuses the hell out of me for the last 4 years. Every time I pick them, they lose. Every time I pick against them, they win. I think I pin right on them maybe 10% of the time. But I'm gonna still stick with the Jaguars just because they have the number one pass defense. Other than that, I have nothing. Next is the Arizona Cardinals versus the Los Angeles Rams. I got the Los Angeles Rams. I know division rivalry. Peterson did show up in this game, but I don't think it's gonna. I'm gonna give a little bit more credit to the Rams defense, but the Rams offense is number one in the league, scoring offense in the league, and it might be one of those games of the week kind of thing. The only thing is, can Carson Palmer not turn over the ball? That's gonna be a huge thing. Next is the New York Jets versus the Miami Dolphins. I got the Miami Dolphins. Both teams very scrappy. This division is playing very tough right now. And all that, but this early in the season. But we'll see when the year goes on and all that. But they're I'm gonna just take Miami on a revenge game. My brother's gonna be happy with that. Next is the Baltimore Ravens, the Minnesota Vikings. If the offenses wasn't as sloppy, I would say I would love to watch this game because both defenses is playing well, and But Minnesota at home, I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings and their defense. That's a very good home field advantage. And plus, Flacco is not playing all that great. Cincinnati Bengals versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I got the Pittsburgh Steelers. The only reason why I picked the Kansas City Chiefs last week was because the way Fournette ran the ball, I thought that Hunt could do something similar. Not that big, but, this do that. But they shut him down. And you know what? But also, when the offense is clicking that way, the defense really feeds off of that, So that's how they play a great team game because of those kind of things. Cincinnati, they have the roster, but I don't think so they're gonna do it. Next is the Denver Broncos versus the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm gonna go with the Los Angeles Chargers, not because they lost to the Giants. The Denver Broncos lost to the Giants. It was just because Chargers, they're better than what their record shows. I mean, they lost 2 games by a field goal, late games, a missed field goal and a blocked field, and this was in Denver. They lost by a blocked field goal. So and then Phillip Rivers still can do this on anybody. So I'm gonna go rolling with the Denver Broncos. Next is the Seattle Seahawks versus the New York Giants. Can Giants do it 2 weeks in a row? I don't think so. What is going to be the difference is going to be Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is going to run the hell out of everything, and then his receivers will eventually get open, and he's going to find them and everything. Their defense is, I know the Broncos defense played well. Seattle's defense is just as much to the task as anybody else too. The Giants, though, one thing you're gonna say that one thing it is gonna be you're gonna earn your victories off of the Giants. I know a couple times they got blown out, they got dominated, but at the same time too, they've been in a tougher games, but their defense can do it and all that. And Eli, when you're just thinking of putting the final nail in the coffin, he always surprises everybody. He comes back like Jason. I'm just saying that just because it's Halloween month. Next is the Atlanta Falcons versus New England Patriots. I got the New England Patriots. This might be a high scoring game, so I hate fantasy football, but for all you fantasy owners, you're gonna love this game. And it might go in the 40s and all that, unless you get them as your defense. But Tom Brady, Tom Brady and Belichick is gonna realize that Atlanta lost to both Miami and to Buffalo, and common opponents can really make a difference in a division, and this division is being better than advertised. Atlanta, they could easily be the bottom team, right? I mean, one of the bottom teams right now, if it wasn't for the drop pass, the Chicago Bears and the highly controversial calling at the end of the game in the Detroit game. Other than the Packers game, they've been kind of off and all that. So got the, and plus traveling on the road outside, harder for them. Next, finally, is the Washington Redskins versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Man, I'm gonna go with the Philadelphia Eagles. Man, what a loss though for Washington Redskins. Especially on this week too. Jonathan Allen, he's been balling out for them, and now that the Philadelphia is showing some running game, that makes it even more worse for them. Kirk Cousins though, he's playing on a pretty high level, with Dotson, Crowder, and Pryor. That's a pretty good wide receiving core. Thompson is a very good weapon out of that backfield. So it's gonna be a better game it's gonna be a very highly competitive game, and sometimes this vision right, but the ball just gotta go one certain way and it could turn on everything. But the front seven of the Eagles is one of the best in the league, if not the best. They can stop the run, rush the passer. Their linebackers are very underrated. Now that they have a running game, Wentz can make big plays, but now he's not forced to. Now they can attack now. They can attack to score, with being ahead of the chains and all that. So, having that said, I don't care. You guys both can tie. You guys both can die. You can cry, whatever. You guys both can go to hell to me. But anyway, mahalo for watching. Paniolo Boys, go Cowboys.